Hello, this is FG back with you for Anbennar, and today we're going to try playing as Marrhold. This is actually my first time ever playing as Marrhold, except for maybe when I very first started playing. Uh, yeah, I decided to kind of just finish up the Telgear series there, because it would have been like 50 more years to like integrate Gwed, and 50 more years until we could at least integrate Gwed, and yeah, it's just kind of sitting around doing nothing. In between then, I have actually played as Wesdam and Temeria, and I decided to also try out Nordio Chand. Nordio Chand has no content at the moment, besides a spawn-in event, but don't worry, whenever it inevitably gets added, I will definitely be playing Nordio Chand. Uh, I would if any of you enjoy playing Anbennar, that should be one of the nations that you should be most excited for. All right, so let us start with this as Marrhold. Fight continues. The Green Tide began 20 years ago when the orc Korgus Dukinson, who claimed he was the son of their evil god, invaded and laid waste to the chivalrous kingdoms of Escann. Only Corin, a mortal woman imbued by the power of Agrados, the disgraced god of war, could stop them. And stop them she did. With her followers, she united the marchers and adventurers in Escann into a single force of good, stopping the invasion of Western Canor dead in its tracks. Yesterday, on the 11th month of Naramont, Korgus Dukinson was slain by the heroine Corin on the city of Castanet, but in return she too lost her life. Corin is dead, but so too is Korkus. It is now up to the rest of us to follow her legacy and bring an end to the Green Tide once and for all. Alright. So, we get that. I am going to take him. And 10th Pantheonic Council. Sure, we can go with Corin. State statutory rights. I already gave out all of my privileges. He's actually a surprisingly competent ruler, which is shocking. Alright. Reclamation Day. When the Green Tide burst out of the mountains as a tide of destruction and barbarism, many Escan chose to fight them head-on, whilst we wisely retreat into our mountain to bide our time. The result, our kingdom endures, while theirs have been reduced to rubble. Now, however, it is time for the men of Marrhold to sally forth from our hold, and reconquer the land of that foul greenskin dare take from us. For Marrhold, for the Griffin banner. Alright, start. We're obviously gonna murder all the orcs. Alright, and do that. Nobility. And colonial charters. Pioneer initiative. Right. You know what? We might actually get rid of this guy. Colonial range. What does this want me to do? Do development in the capital. Alright. Huh. Old King Griff has some kind of decent ruler trait. Accommodation with the natives, that's good. Really just waiting on, what's it called? Waiting on... Sorry, my brain is fogging. Oh, Renaissance. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. New champion of the joust. Ooh. Yes. There we are. I'll get rid of him. Grinder is in alliance with them. I don't want to develop because I do want military tech as quick as possible. Our king is pretty miserable. Just hoping that he dies soon. Don't care about spy network. I will do this. Serpent Spine Steel. One of the primary economic activities in Marrhold has always been metalworking. Thanks to the large deposit of iron beneath our native hold, this ore has been used to create what is referred to as Serpent Spine Steel, a particularly resilient alloy, stronger than most variants and thus extremely apt to be used in weapon and armors. Luckily for us, the Green Tide has created a large demand for swords, and also an enemy for which we can put them to good use. Alright. I'm gonna take out some loans from the merchants. Die. Alright, dog eater. Alright, that's done. Good. Renaissance. Alright. You can also go ahead and do that, and I'm gonna just drop this fort for a little bit. Okay. Let me get... Tech-wise, we still have a tech up on them. You know, let's maybe just go back in time for a little bit. And I can actually just go ahead and do that. Just gonna like Counts League, an ally. We're gonna do that. thank God he's dead. Even if many dare call us cowards for retreating into the security of our mountain home as the green tide raged on, saving thousands of lives of our countrymen, not all of us did so. Our young prince, Griff, as well as many knights of the Order of the Griffin, went out and confronted the Green Menace head-on, fighting alongside the Marcher Lords and Corin in many decisive battles. Let us celebrate his heroic legacy. Alright, and... is there anyone that helps with colonization? Form, siege, manpower, unrest. No, I'm just gonna stick with Corin for the moment. Dwarven Minister, of course we like dwarves. Tearing. Glory and gold. Quality problems. Expense. Who are they at war with? Anyone else I can ally? Get the Order of the Ashen Rose. And we come right here and favors and favors. Oh. Favored by the gods, Corin. I'll dedicate myself to the emulation of Corin. Yeah, we're not gonna go Infernal Court this game. Once we get that up to 10, it's time to go in against Heartgrinder. Let's take the Reform Progress, actually. Go with Curtail Noble Privileges. That's that. Alright. This. Stack wipe. Excellent. Right. Revenge. Our explorers report that a warlord of the nearby orc tribe we are at war with wears a cloak made with the feathers of fallen griffins. As a sort of brutish trophy, it is time to right this wrong. It was a shock to many when our beloved Prince Griff returned from the recent Battle of Castaneath, not only battered and bruised, but also alone, his trusted mount, the Royal Griffin Seavol, nowhere to be seen. During the thickest of the fighting, Seavol was struck by a volley of arrows, both rider and mount plummeting to the ground and quickly set upon by bloodthirsty orcs. It was then the bloodied Griffin rose up once more and charged the orcs in a bestial frenzy, trying to protect his master. Amidst the screams and pain of his dying mount, Griff made his escape, swearing vengeance on the orcs that butchered his fallen friend. Whilst the prince still grieves Seavol, he has received reports of an orc chieftain of a nearby tribe who dares wear a cloak fashioned out of griffin feathers. An insult to our knights, our nation, and the prince's fallen friend. This provocation won't go unanswered. Alright, do that. Um, With the Orc Warlord captured, it's time for us to impart justice. Seavol will be avenged. After Griff, the the young slowly walks towards the center of the square. The people watch in silence, the guards dividing the crowd from the plaza. An ancient Marrhold tradition dating from times before the Dragon's Lake was the king's duty to execute the enemy. Nowadays, this practice has fallen out of favor, but today was special. Bound by chains and weakened by days of imprisonment and torture, the green-screen chieftain could barely resist as he was forced to kneel by the guards. Griff VIII the Young prepared heavy two-handed sword of the royal Mar family, ironically named Feather, and gazed upon the crowd. This barbarian, who killed many of our fellow compatriots, who dared adorn himself with the remains of our glorious griffins. At this, the common folk erupted in a litany of shouts of rage, shall now be put down by the authority given to me by the gods. The beheading was swift and painless. After a short while, the crowd dispersed, carrying on with their day. The monarch, however, stayed for a little while longer, deep in thought, pondering about the future. Yeah. We do not like orcs here. Emulant, Mistress of War. Alright. Yay. Oh, that sucks. Alright, Blade Breaker will go out for some money. Yeah, just give me the cash. And then I want basically all of this. And we can take Over the Hill. Taken during the War of the Sorcerer King, S Hill is the key to both the defense and trade of our nation. Its hilly terrain makes for an excellent natural barrier against any would-be invaders from the north, and the River Noth provides easy access to markets downstream all the way to the Silvermere. Thus, we need to regain control over it as soon as possible. Alright, down the valley. Ever since our ancestors arrived in Escann, we have inhabited the valley, its fertile lands being the breadbasket for the entire kingdom. Recently, however, a barbaric orc tribe dared to settle our lands. Let us give them a piece of our mind and reconquer our rightful lands. Alrighty. And just like that, we have knocked out our two greatest enemies. Yeah, let's build something in Marrhold. Alrighty. Culture map mode is looking good. Griffin. Oh. Rebirth. After the recent conflict, many questions remain. What will the future of Marrhold be in this brand new Escann we find ourselves in? As our monarch ponders this, a new generation has been born, ready to answer this question. As the evening sun sets on the royal palace of Marrhold, Griff the Young finds himself enjoying the orange-lit expanse with his heir, Ulrich. Spurred onwards by the serene sight of the growing, bustling city settling down for the night, Griff the Young tells the prince about Escann before the green tide. It was a place of chivalry. Conflicts were settled by champions in honorable duels. The nobles of the realm were respected and carried out their duties diligently, the monarch sighs as they continue. Now Escann festers with the battlegrounds of bloodthirsty orcs and overambitious upstarts. We stand as the last true kingdom of Escann. Griff turns to the prince, placing a hand on their shoulder. You will soon do your part in Escann's revival and restore the old order, the way Escann is meant to be. Turning to the doorway leading out of the small courtyard, the king gestures towards a liveried servant carrying an ornate wooden chest. The servant brings the chest over, revealing its precious cargo to Ulrich, a griffin egg. This griffin egg comes from the royal stock, from the lineage of Seavol. Treat it well and make sure you're there when it hatches. We wouldn't want it to imprint on anyone else, after all. The stunned heir looks incredulously upon the priceless egg as the king turns back to look over the last rays of the setting sun. Tomorrow will be the beginning for us all. Oh. Corin March is a thing. Somehow. Start paying off some of these loans. Oh no, orcs. Take that whenever. Actually, upgrade that real quick. A few points into it. Alright, and we are going to, of course, go with higher developed colonies. Sure. Long-term grudges come to fruition. Alright. Of course wants to get core, and that's all good. Core that. Alright. We'll start butchering the orcs in a little bit. I have no prestige anyways. Let's put on this again. And then we want to go to the Merchant's Guild, and we want to real quick to take this out. Erase this, take back. Alright. Ooh, he's industrious. And I would like to build a temple right here, and it wants me to build barracks right here. Alright. Declare war on Groundhog. I'll do that eventually. Order of the Griffin. A sad reality of our intervention during the Green Tide is that while most of our population was spared the horrors of war, the same can't be said of our legendary Griffin Knights, many of them giving their lives in defense of the realm and Escann as a whole. It is time for a new generation of Griffin riders to be trained so that they may replenish their numbers. Right. Colonize this. Of course, we gotta get a couple of Griffin Knights. Alrighty, there we are. We want this, and yeah, let's go with this espionage idea. I've been liking taking that recently. Right, building-wise, we can build another building, colonial expansion. Of course, we're gonna do that. Next on the chopping block will be Blade Breaker. And if we can get to Tech 7, we will basically delete their troops as soon as we come in contact with them. Alright. Go ahead and pay off all my loans. We have a temple, now I just need a marketplace. Should be... Are we able to build a marketplace already? Yes. Go ahead and do that. Alrighty. We're gonna go ahead and build a spy network. And then we're gonna start colonizing that. We're gonna take tech first. Royal favoritism. Well, let's go with decentralized bureaucracy. It's Dead Fang. Alright. When our people first settled the hold, they never guessed how important it would become to our survival. It was the main reason why we survived both the onslaught of the Sorcerer King and the Green Tide, becoming the namesake for our nation. While still teeming with refugees, we shall expand the infrastructure of our hold further and ensure our fortress doesn't fall into disrepair. We all live together. As our realm expands, so does our population. It's becoming self-evident that we've outgrown the confines of our beloved hold. This, however, can't stand. We must commence a national effort to expand and improve our hold in capital city, even if it's taxing on our coffers. Alright, so that will slowly turn our hold from being not amazing to being good. Tech are they? Tech 4, we're Tech 6. Excellent. Oh, yes. Alright, we'll admit it. The truth of the matter is that we have no idea how Dwarven architecture works. Luckily for us, we do have people who do. In the past few centuries, there's been several waves of Dwarven migration who see our hold as a rather cozy alternative to return to one of their ancestral holds and not dealing with the dangers of the Dwarvar. We shall approach the local Dwarven Masons Guild and offer them a job in restoring our beautiful hold. Alright, so we're halfway done. For some reason this has the harpy symbol, which is funny. Yes, let him stay home. Poor defense guy. Alright. Let's declare war with Anti-Monsters Conquest. I assume that Council League is probably going to want... No, they don't actually want any of this stuff. Sword Covenant, which is a new... not new nation, but they got a focus tree. Alright. And where's the Order of the Ashen Rose? Come on, get in on this. Don't want to murder the orcs without you. Alright. Really, they don't want out. No, they're gonna regret that. Give me money, give me more reps. Don't care. Or them, I want all of this. Alright, so Severedeer, money, reps, and at least Brave Brothers. I'm just gonna send half these guys over because I have a feeling that they'll rise up at some point. Alright. As for Bone Carver, give me money or reps. I don't actually want to do that because that's just feeding. That would just be feeding Grombar, Frozen Maw, whatever they're called. What should I build? Some of those, I guess. Welcome, Brave Brothers. Yeah, I'll take tech. Bronze cannons. And tolerance. We're gonna slaughter them. Alright. I'm right here. There's a lot of orcs in these parts. I do need to build a farm estate at some point. Tech 6. Okay. No, I don't want to pay for that. Alright, we're good. Riddance. So what? Yeah, we don't really care. Orcs flee. Avic's having a good game. Alright. I guess I can force steel him up. With that, Serpent's Mark. Alright. All of these need to be 6 development. I can work with that. Development. Alright. And this should just start with that. Our friends, the dwarves. Riddance. Let's leave 3 here. Take the rest of this army up this way. Whispers of Ascension, nope. Through the woods. Immediately to the south of Marrhold lies the forest's edge, the lands of Doewood and Hornwood, which serve as our frontier with the malignant forces of the Deep Woods, and are also the most rural area of our nation. As such, we should resettle them as soon as possible so that we may keep a watch on the forest. Taking off. The last few years have been full of hardship and rebuilding, but we finally managed to restore the borders of our kingdom before the Green Tide attack. As our people return to their homes, we find ourselves in a brand new Escann, not one dominated by chivalry, but instead by upstart adventurers and vicious orcish tribes. Whatever the future may hold, our people shall endure, as we've done countless times before. Alright, so we're the last ones standing. During the Green Tide, we received thousands of refugees, initially from the rest of Escann and later on from Marrhold itself, as our borders came under orcish attack. Whilst we tried to accommodate them in our hold as best as possible, the truth is that it's becoming a bit crowded. As such, we've decided to resettle them in the outskirts of our nation in order to reinforce our borders. Alright, so we need an army of 25,000 or larger. Alright. Seize the chance. Now that stability has returned, our nation looks outward. We are the only remaining kingdom in the area. Now that all other have fallen, and some even claim we are the only proper nation in the entirety of Escann as opposed to the adventurers and orcs. Indeed, we are in a prime position to enforce our dominance over the region. Alright, so that gives us claims over this stuff. We'll attack Corin later. After we're done taking this, we'll attack Corin, grab stuff from them. Orcs flee from the country. Let's go with this, and I'll go with national tax. Alright, our borders are looking pretty good. Go 1, 2. Griffin stone development, manpower, woods, treasure. continuing to seize as much land as we can. Alright, friends the dwarves. Economy actions. I really want to be able to ally Kugild here. Just like as soon as possible. Oh, I can ally them. Alright. As dozens of adventure companies travel around Escann, we have come into contact with an adventuring company comprised primarily of dwarves. Whilst it's no secret we don't really get along with most adventurers, Marrhold has traditionally been friends with the dwarves. As we hold a significant dwarven population ourselves, it is clear they are more trustworthy than the rest. Let's approach them with a promise of an alliance of mutual benefit. Alright, and we will, of course, improve relations. We do not have... I don't really care about half-orcs either, to be honest. Where do we even have half-orcs? Yeah. Poor guys. I just want to keep this gold so I can take that mission. Where is it? Improving our hold. 9 years. Would have been really nice to have a second colonist, but don't get what we want. Aggressive expansion impact. Orcs flee. Alright, we're nearly at an hour, so that's probably when I will call it. Borrowing their expertise. Now that the friendship with the dwarves has been solidified, the truth is that we could use their expertise in architecture not only to aid in the reconstruction efforts, but also in improving our hold. After all, who would be better to improve dwarven holds than the dwarves themselves? Alright. And we get... We need to build that. Might as well build some stuff while we have a bit of a discount. Good. I can get that. Good. More dead orcs. Natural borders. How far do we go? Yeah. You get basically all of Escann. Riddance. Let's get 2 cannons, actually. And development. Bountiful harvest. Let's build that. Yes, definitely. Glorian gold. Old Haven. Old Haven's a fun place. Council League should actually be getting a mission tree at some point soon, hopefully. Possibly. Good. Ambushers. Should slaughter them. Orcish majority flees. Alright, I think that was that province. Good. No. Family secret. I'll take a half off trader. Good. And not take that, a core. Damn them. Alright, more development. Sword Covenant. I was gonna threaten war against them. More orcs flee. Looking really good. We will obviously grab stuff from Corin whenever we can. And alright, so that'll be 20% aggressive expansion, 30% aggressive expansion, 40% aggressive expansion. I'll get 3,000 of these guys. And we're going to declare war on Corin. Favors. Alright, I guess I'll do that later. Take this as well. Should get a good amount of money out of it. Hammer home. Let's go with aristocratic ideas, actually. Cavalry combat, dev cost. They're both great. We are a cav nation, so... we are going to very quickly declare war. And yes, declare war. Like this. Oh, and get the royal stables. As our kingdom expands, so does our army, and thus our need for more griffins. Now that we've reconquered the lush Drysdale, we shall build the Griffin royal stables there, in order to breed and train these majestic creatures to suit our needs. Okay, nobility and officer corps. It is said that two of a general's most important traits are in their eyes, with which they oversee the battlefield and react accordingly, and their voice, which they command their troops in victory. Both things are way easier when you can just fly over the battle. Whilst many of our generals are already Griffin riders in their own right, we shall now make it mandatory, ensuring their skills are put to the best possible use. Right. And we want to declare war for this. And with that, I will leave this episode here. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. It's been a pretty productive 40 years worth of gameplay. We've restored the old borders of Marrhold. And we've also basically totally exterminated the orcs in eastern Escann, sorry. Now that all that we have left is to deal with the various adventure kingdoms like Corin, Order of the Ashen Rose, Gallant Friends, Iron Scepter, Sword Covenant, and Bloodgorger and Severed. And then the last other remnants of the old Escann, which is Castellir, or the Count's League. And then we will have all of Eastern Escann under our belts. Alrighty, thanks so much for watching, and have a good day.